Okay, so this is my Revit. So now we're going to start a new file. So this one, we're going to look into how we can create a family for lighting fixture. So first thing first, we're going to go into our family part right here. So as I mentioned earlier, when you want to create a new family, you're going to go ahead and play around with these two tools. So I'm going to go ahead to click on new. So here, you have a lot of templates that you can use. So as you can see, there is a lot of things. You add a metric door and so on. So because I wanted to create a lighting fixture, so what I can do is that I can go ahead to metric lighting fixture, and as you can see, for lighting fixture itself, there is multiple template that you can use. So for this, I'm going to go ahead to a metric lighting fixture ceiling base. Okay, metric lighting fixture, ceiling base. You also have metric linear lighting fixture. This is more suitable if you have a linear type of lighting. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead to metric lighting fixture, ceiling base, and then I click on open. So when I go into here, I'm just going to show you a few things. First, we have our family category and parameter. So in here, you can see that it is actually in lighting fixture. So this is okay. So whenever you have this family completed, when you bring it into your project, it will fall under lighting fixture tool. Okay. And then we have this family type. So family type actually contain all the parameter that we have in our project, in our family project. Okay. So now, without further ado, I'm going to go into my front view. Okay, so this is the front view. So I'm just going to explain a bit about the reference planes that we have in here. So here we have our ceiling, the reference plane for our ceiling, and this is the light source elevation, and the one that we have here is our reference level 0. So the first thing first that I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a dimension. So I make a dimension from here to here, and then what I can do is that I can create a parameter. Parameter is actually the things that will actually control your family. So here, there is two types of way on how you can create your parameter. So I'm just going to show you the first method. First, you can click on your dimension here and then click on the create parameter. So here, I'm going to give it a name. So I put it as a rod length. And then discipline is under common, type of parameter is length, group parameter is under dimension, and this one I'm going to put this an type parameter. So I click on OK. Okay, and then what you can do is that you can click on the reference plane here, and then you click on the dimension. Now you can put in the value that you want. So I put this as 1000. Okay, now I'm going to create one more reference plane. So in order for you to create a reference plane, you can either go to create and reference plane here, or you can actually just type in RP in your keyboard. So I'm just going to put it somewhere around here, and then quickly create a dimension. Okay, so the dimension, what I wanted to do is that I want it to have a 250 millimeter dimension. So what I want to do is that I want to move this reference plane to be a little bit lower. So I just click on this reference plane and click on the dimension, change it into 250. Okay, and then what I want to do is that I click on this dimension and I click on lock. So what will happen is that, for example, if I change my rod length to be 1500, the dimension between the reference plane will stay as 250 as we have locked it just now. So I'm just going to put it as 1000. This is lock. So now I'm going to start to create my form. So for this one, I'm going to go to create. Okay, in family creation, you can see that the interface is slightly different. You have the create tab here. So in the create tab, what you have is you have this 5 form, 6 if you include the void form. So here it holds different functionality. So there is moment that you actually have to use extrusion, blend, revolve, sweep, and swept blend. Okay, so for now, I'm going to use a revolve. So if you click on revolve, you will see that you have two parts of it. The first one is the boundary line, and the second one is your axis line. So I'm going to go ahead and create the boundary line first. So this is your drawing tool, so I'm going to put as line. So here I'm going to zoom in a bit at the reference plane that we have done. So here I'm just going to create the line. So from here I just simply create like a very simple line here, just like that. Okay, and then whatever line that actually touching the reference plane, for example this line, I'm going to move it a bit and then lock it. So this is for you to actually control the positioning of your form later. So when you lock it, it will not move freely. Okay, so after that you need to specify your axis line. So I'm going to go ahead and use pick line. So I bring in my cursor here, and then you can click on finish. So if you go ahead and look into your 3D view, so this is your ceiling, so this is your um, lighting fixture. Okay, so from here you have your light, the form here, and now what we have is that we can create the rod. So for creating the rod, I'm going to go ahead to the reference level. Reference level is your top view. So I'm going to go ahead and create using extrusion. So I'm going to go ahead and use circle and just zoom in a bit. So I'm going to give Okay, after that, in order for you to understand where is your rod, so you can go ahead to front, and then you can actually click in here and then drop it down a bit, lock. This one also, drop it down and lock. So in the 3D view, what you can see is that you have some sort of a lighting fixture like that. Okay, you can always use fine and shaded if you want to have a proper view. And then what I always recommend you to do is that whenever you want to actually bring in your connector. So now we're going to look into connector. So connector is located in the create tab. So we have five different connector here. We have electrical connector, duct connector, pipe, cable tray, and conduit connector. So what we're going to do is that we're going to put in our electrical connector. So we're just going to put it here. Okay, just on the surface of the rod like that. Okay, so if I click on the connector, okay, you can see there is the properties of the connector. So if you have the information regarding the voltage and everything, you can just key in it here. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to put it as power unbalanced, and then I'm just going to leave the information as it is. Okay, so next thing you see this yellow thing. This is actually your light source. So in order for you to change the light source, so of course if we have this kind of lighting fixture, our light source will not become like that. So for example, if you want to change, we can actually just select on this yellow symbol, which is your light source, and then here we have your light source definition. Okay, so emit from shape. So of course we have a round form here, so of course it's going to be a circle. And then the light distribution, if you want to have, you know, spherical and everything, so you can just do so. So I'm going to do a some sort of a spot like this, then apply and click on OK. So you can see that this is my light source. Okay, so here you can see that our light source is actually tilted a bit. So in order for you to make it 90 degree, so what you can do is that you can actually go to your family type. In this family type, what you can do is that here in photometric part, we have this tilt angle. So you can change it into 90 degree. The photometric part is actually comprising of the properties of the light source and light definition and everything regarding the lighting. So you can change it into tilt angle to 90 degree, and then you click on OK. So we have it here like this. And then again, like I really oftenly do, I forget to actually save the file. So you go ahead and save this as the family. So this one, I'm going to put it into my file here. And then this is 3dt underscore Revit cleaning underscore lighting fixture. Okay, and then I just going to save it. Okay, so what we can do now is that we can create a dummy project. So whenever you have completed your family, what you need to do is that you need to actually test the capability of your family. So now I'm going to create a dummy project. Sorry, I'm going to create a dummy project again, create a project. Okay, this time I'm going to go ahead and use electrical deformatrix. Okay, and then from here, because this family that we've done previously is actually a ceiling based family, so in my dummy project, what I need to do is that I need to create a ceiling first. So in order for you to do a ceiling, if you guys know, you have to do a wall dulu. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a wall here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in the ceiling. Okay, so now as I have my ceiling here, what you can do is that in your family, you can actually load into project. So here you will see in my cursor, there's some sort of an error symbol, which indicating that you cannot place the lighting here because basically you do not have your ceiling out there. So you're going to bring it in here. So you see that if you bring it around the ceiling, you can actually see you can now place your lighting fixture. Okay, and then what you can do is that you can select all this and then click on here selection box to actually directed you to the 3D view. So you see here we have our ceiling, we have our lighting fixture embedded to the ceiling. Okay, so if you guys remember, when I create the family, I make this parameter name rod length. So this is my rod length tadi tu. So what happened is that in my 3D view here, okay, if I click on my lighting fixture, my rod length will be actually in my edit type. This is my rod length. So basically, if I change this to 1500, so what will happen is that every lighting will actually change. So if I want to make something a little bit different, what you can do is that in this lighting fixture family, you go ahead and find the rod length. You can click on edit. Okay, and then if you put it as an instance parameter, what will happen is that you load back this into the project, override the existing version and its parameter value. So what happened is that now you have the rod length at the outside of the properties. You do not have to go to actually edit type. So the difference that it make is that if we have the properties here, so if I change this to 1500, you will see that this actually affect the lighting fixture that we have here, and all other lighting fixture will not be affected. So here you can make different rod lengths. So if I make into 1300, so it will be different from each other. So that is the differences between type and instant. So this is basically how you can control your parameter. Okay, so that is on the parametric lighting fixture. So that is how we create a lighting